Paul Mullins, and we're downtown Monroe. This is Saturday, March the 16th, and as you can see, there are a lot of people at the annual car show. We're going to show you some of the cars that are here when we get up and This is a 1986 Porsche 944. This was one of the most sporty cars in that time that was built. They made the 924, which didn't have the flare out right here over the tire. But basically, except for that, the 924 and the 944 looked exactly alike. The 1926 Ford Model T.
Yeah, that's like that old, the old antifreeze. You used to could taste it.
1931 Ford 5-window coupe.
Hey, we drink it. He went too. Oh shit.
And it has a rumble seat. This is a touring Cadillac. This is a, I believe that's a limousine right here. It's got the extended back on it. Cadillac limousine. This is a 1962. No, this is really a record right here. Chevrolet truck. 64. It's 1937. Ford has got a beautiful paint job on it. '56 Ford. '55 Chevrolet. That's a beautiful paint job, two-tone. 1937 Ford coupe.
This is my 32 Ford 5-window coupe, it's called, and I've had it for 8 years. And it's got it's all steel car. It's got a Buick engine that's called a nailhead, and it's I already forgot what kind of paint, but it's real good paint on it, and it's got the 400 transmission in it. It's got the 9-inch rear end, Ford rear end in it, and it drives great.
It has plenty of pep, I bet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. It has a lot of pep.
This is an '86 Buick with turbocharger on it. This will probably move on. This 2023 bet sold for about $100,000. 92, I Chevrolet school bus. School buses have increased in size quite a bit. Very interesting the way the seating was in it. These off-road vehicles are very neat. Their ground clearance is superb. 51 Chevrolet. I had one real similar to it. Mine was a 50 model, and mine was a coupe. Mine had Babbitt Rod 6-cylinder. This has got a V8 that's put in it. So I imagine it's a little more peppy taken off than mine was. There's an old Smokey the Bear. Huge. What is this? Forestry Service, yes. Forestry Service, Department of Agriculture. I think this is what you would call a low rider. Have you ever seen a truck? That's definitely a low rider. Chevrolet 396 engine. Old Corvette.
This thing gets it.
This is 1987 Ferrari. This thing's in really good shape.
Yeah, 119,000.
They do like cars, you know? That's cool. How they just took it off
You know why? Because color's dead. You want to try?
Looks just like it. 1969 Dodge Charger. As you can see, there are cars everywhere. I believe this is the biggest show that we've ever had in Monroe. I mean, every parking lot has got cars. This is a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda. At the time, they had the biggest back glass that had ever been put on a car, and it still might hold the title today. I'm just not sure, but it was huge. Look at the glass in the back of this car. But the Barracuda, it was a fancy car in its day. It still looks very stylish. Plymouth Roadrunner. This car, I've always loved this car. Always wanted one because I like that front end that was added onto it, and then the big fin at the back. It's 1973 911. This is a 2000 Plymouth Prowler. It was a stock car that really turned heads. Very impressive car, easy to handle. Love it.
Thinking I was going to pay to have them done because I don't know how to do nothing. Yeah, but the thing is, it costs too damn much money. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Tell them about your car.
It's a 1929 Ford
28.
1928 Ford Roadster Model A.
And how big's the engine in it?
A 302
A 302
Mustang motor.
Mustang motor.
Okay, you know a lot about this car. So have you been working on it with your dad?
Yes, sir.
So that's our favorite project.
It's our favorite project.
Whole lineup of Fords there. These are both 1932s. Coupe and a sedan. This is a 1948 Chevrolet truck that they redone to pull a gooseneck trailer. This thing is fabulous. I mean, it is just totally been fixed up inside and out. And of course, the gooseneck goes in right here.
It's a fresh year for fresh gear. And in New Balance, Atlanta, we're here for you. What's the hottest color?
I mean, I could do this just because the wood grain, the color, and that green interior. My trail.
Doors are what they call gull wing. So
Gull wing doors.
Yeah,
okay.
they come with there's a special kit that I did. I got them modified so that they open up. It actually works better. My wife loves it because it's easier to get in and out of the car, and it actually looks really good.
Yeah, it does. It's easier to get in and out of the car.
Absolutely.
Well, great. And have you done anything to the engine, or it's just stock on the engine?
So it's all Chevrolet Performance. So you have Chevrolet Performance cold air intake. And then the only thing I added that's not Chevrolet is a Mishimoto catch can, because this is a direct injected
Okay.
engine. And so this catches the extra oil and fuel that you normally would burn that goes across the intake valves. So since it puts the fuel directly into the cylinder, then so that it doesn't burn that off. So that doesn't clean the back of those valves.
Oh.
So instead of those valves getting dirty, it catches all that
Keeps them
extra
clean.
oil and fuel and keeps those clean. And then when you change your oil, this just opens up. You just pour that. You clean that out when you clean the oil. And it's same thing that they do. It works just like a diesel engine. So diesel engines have the same. It's just much bigger. So you'll see a lot. If you walk around, you'll see a lot of these little extra little cans on the side for any engine that's direct injection.
So that makes your oil better. Makes it.
It keeps your valves from getting all that gunk.
Oh, gunk in it. Okay. Okay.
Because normally that fuel would clean that off the valve and then burn that up and then burn that up. But because the fuel doesn't come in through the valve, it's directly injected. It doesn't clean it.
Okay.
So you want something to keep that extra gunk off, and it gets caught in this can.
Okay. Well, thank you for the education.
You're
I wasn't
welcome.
aware of that.
Thank you.
This truck is really unique. Totally been redone and lowered. Chevrolet, 1956. See, there were a lot of cars here Saturday, March 16th, downtown Monroe. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment.
This land is your land. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me a peaceful skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Well, I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps. plans to sing out. Yeah. Kind of wait for it to come back around again. Here we go. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Give the tag here. This land was made for you and me.
Good morning, I'm Tisha McCrae with the Walton Youth Project and the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. We're here again this morning to talk to you about the plans that the Teen Advocacy Board have to beautify the garden behind the Wayne Street alley. It's at Wayne Street and Spring Street, and we'd encourage you all to go out there and look at it. And then if you have some ideas or if you have plants that you'd like to donate, we're especially looking for heirloom perennials. It can be for shade or sun because we have both out there. And this Saturday, our teens are going to be out sort of clearing the garden and speaking to the local merchants and getting some more ideas. We received a generous grant from Peach State Federal Credit Union to help us out with this, as well as with Resilient Northeast Georgia to help us with some of the funding on it. It's going to be a beautiful spot once we're finished. And again, we'd just love to hear from you and to get some donations of plants. We are going to be using our 3D printing lab that we take to local elementary, middle, and high schools to print plaques for people who donate plants. So if you do, we can give you some recognition there that's created by some local Walton County students. In order to reach me, my number is 770-207-3174. And you can also email us at walton.youthproject@icloud.com. Thank you. Hey Walton County, it's Patrice Broughton, your Public Information Officer here with another Walton County update. We will start with our March 5th board meeting. It wasn't an extremely long meeting, but we did have some important information that came from that meeting. So there was an adoption of the agenda with an addition to appoint the Planning Commission District 2 seat. So there was a withdrawal for a rezone of 9.66 acres, and the Board of Commissioners accepted that withdrawal. We had a few budget amendments that were adopted and a project length budget for the Walton County Government Building Surveillance System that was adopted. We accepted a contract with Reeves Young LLC for the Grove, which is the Walton County Parks and Recreation Facility that'll be located in Walnut Grove. They also approved Assistant Program Management as the program manager for the Walnut Grove Park. Now this is for everyone that uses the scales at Keep Walton Beautiful Recycling Center. There was a proposed solid waste fee increase, and that was approved. So the board approved an increase from $65 to $70 per ton with a minimum of a $5 minimum disposal fee. And that is to offset some of the cost incurred at Keep Walton Beautiful, and also to encourage those that are, taking their household trash to use the green bag program. You can get a green bag at local convenience stores and some local grocery stores, and they are $2.50 a bag, and that will help, eliminate some of the traffic across the scales. So we accepted a bid for the Walton County Government Surveillance System from Atlanta Access Control in the amount of $229,104.63. So they appointed a voting delegate to the Georgia Opioid Settlement Advisory Commission and Regional Advisory Council, and they appointed the county manager, John Ward, for that voting delegate. And they also appointed Terry Eason to the Planning Commission District 2 seat that was previously served by Pete Myers. There wasn't an executive session held for the meeting. Again, it was a short meeting, but if you want to find any information, you can always find those meeting minutes and agenda summaries on the waltoncounty.gov website. Just a few updates. Public Works will be closing Mountain Creek Church Road to through traffic starting March 21st for approximately 10 days for the Williams Transco Pipeline project. And for all of you with students from 4th to 12th grade, 4-H is now accepting summer camp registration. So if you'd like your child to go to summer camp with 4-H, you can find that information on the Walton County website. I also want to thank all of the viewers and listeners over the last few years that I've served as the public information officer for Walton County. I will say that this is my last county update, as I will be moving on to a new position. So thank you so much for your support over the years, and I hope everyone is enjoying all of this nice spring weather. As always, if you need anything, you can always reach out to anyone here at the Walton County Historic Courthouse at 770-267-1301. Thank you, Walton County.
Hey, thanks a lot everybody for tuning in. In a minute, we're going to show you a lot of the dogs that are available here at the Walton County Animal Control Shelter. You know, we're on South Madison Avenue, right behind the jail. You can come down and have a look through every afternoon from 1 to 4:30. You can see the dogs and the cats, or you can go online and look at waltonpets.net. We do post a lot of the animals there, well, almost all the animals there, so you can do some window shopping if you go to waltonpets.net. You know, it's springtime already, hard to believe, but we'll probably, just like every year, start to see a lot of the kittens come in, a lot of the puppies come in. So maybe you're looking to add a kitten or a puppy into your household. Don't forget about your local animal control shelter. It's Walton County Animal Control, 1411 South Madison Avenue in Monroe, or waltonpets.net.
He is a lab retriever mix, not neutered, vaccinated, good with kids and other dogs. He's about 2 years old. He's looking for a good home.
This is Winston. He is a 3-month-old Labrador puppy mix, and he is looking for a great home. Ready? Good boy.
This is Blossom. She's a bull mastiff. She is house trained, good with kids, and good with other dogs. She is vaccinated. She is not spayed. And she's a very sweet girl.
This is Blaze. He's a 1-year-old hound mix. He is great with kids and dogs, and he's looking for a home. Come on.
He's a black lab retriever. He's neutered. He's house trained. He's good with kids and other dogs. And he just needs a good family to run and play with. This is Bruce. He's a English Bulldog mix. He's about 1 year old. He's vaccinated, good with kids and other dogs. He's very sweet.
Hi, I'm Jody Johnson. I'm here with another Recreation Report. Happy spring to everyone. The weather's finally getting better, except for those weekends it keeps raining. But we have had an opening of our spring sports. We had it last weekend, and the rain held off for us, and we had a wonderful weekend. The weather was quite well, and everybody played up in Loganville with our baseball and softball, and then we started the week off at Criswell and South Walton. And we'll continue until spring break, then we'll take a week off and then come back that following week and continue all the way till around May. So we're looking forward to our baseball, softball, soccer, and our track teams doing some great things and having a great time. Hopefully the weather will hold out for us. I also want to invite you up to our community centers. Remember, they're open on those rainy weekends. You can come up and exercise and stay healthy. We appreciate you doing that. We have our craft fair coming up in Loganville. Make sure you go to our website at waltoncountyga.gov to register for that. So hope to see you at the park soon, and thank you very much.
this is Isaac over at Reboot, giving you the Reboot Tech Tip. I wanted to talk a little bit today about Windows 11. How much of a nightmare it is what I wanted to talk about. You know, Microsoft, they come out with a new Windows, I don't know what it is, maybe every 5 years or something like that. And usually every other generation is good. You know, so like Windows 7 was good, Windows 8 was horrible, Windows 10 was good, Windows 11 is horrible, Windows 12 will be good, you know, and so on and so on. So Windows 11, what it really is an unfinished version of Windows 12. They go ahead and send it out, and they let us kind of fix the bugs for it. So there's all kinds of issues with it. Lots of printer issues that we see, like it'll go in and just uninstall your printers, or sometimes if you go to print something, it'll open like the Documents tab or something like that. We've seen where it'll just destroy computers when it goes to update, or if people were doing, especially when it first came out, like if you upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11, it would wipe your computer data and everything, or it would crash the Windows. So a lot of issues. There's still a lot of bugs too with just clicking on stuff in Windows 11. I've seen just clicking on something on one of the windows and it'll open something totally different than what you actually clicked on. I've seen where updates will get stuck and create issues. One thing about Windows 11 too is it's more difficult to navigate. So instead of clicking on something, like to get to something on Windows 10, you might have had to click one time. Now you've got to click 3 times on 2 different menus to get to the same thing, which I think is ridiculous, but whatever. You know, so with all that being said, the recommendation is please do not buy a computer with Windows 11 on it, or you can get a new computer from us that still has Windows 10 on it. Some of the major manufacturers will still sell computers with Windows 10 on it. You can still get computers off of Amazon with Windows 10 on it, you know, so the option is there. And then when Windows 12 comes out, they'll give it to you for free. So just stay away from Windows 11. Again, Isaac with Reboot, giving you the Reboot Tech Tip.
Hello, welcome to Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. We have the high school show in the gallery right now. It will be here through April 11th. April 11th from 6 to 7:30 we'll have our reception and awards night, and then this show will be gone, and the middle school show will be the last of our student art shows. So we feature public and private schools. As long as they're in Walton County, they are invited. Not everyone participates, but most of them do. And we're glad to have them here. This high school show is really amazing. A little bit of teenage angst on display, but mostly really, really, really good art. And I think you'll be amazed. Walton County has great art teachers. We really do. We really have. They pull things out of these students. It's just amazing. So do come and see. It's here through April 11th, and I think you'll be pleased and impressed. This show will be judged by an official from the Savannah College of Art and Design, and they will award one big prize. I'm not sure exactly what it will be, but usually it's a scholarship of some form to SCAD. I think he's coming tomorrow, so I'm not sure exactly, but I think he'll also name some runners-ups, and they'll get a certificate so that they have something for their portfolio and to keep, because it's important to be recognized, A, to be in an art gallery like this, and B, to be judged by an official from SCAD, and for them to be impressed with your work. So we want to recognize them. So that's the high school show. Our other big news is we are selling our tickets to our 2 spring events. We have a gala type event It's not like a formal kind of thing, but it will be, it's called A Toast to the Arts. It is Friday evening, April 26th, at Sparrow Grove Manor. And we'll have Dr. Armitage, Alan Armitage will be there. He's world famous horticulture professor, now retired from UGA. He's written, I think, 17 books. He's going to be there answering questions and signing books. We'll have a silent auction. We'll have hors d'oeuvres, heavy hors d'oeuvres, lots of really good food. Wine, music and dancing. We hope, still trying to figure that part out. But we'll have a really fun evening Friday night. And then the very next day on Saturday, April 27th, we'll have our Nature Meets Art garden tour. And we actually have 12 stops on the tour. And most garden tours have 4 to maybe 6. We're always overachievers here, and our committee has really pulled out all the stops. And aside from 7 private home gardens, we'll also have 5 other stops on the tour for you to enjoy and learn. We have speakers, we have a pop-up sale. Growers Outlet in Loganville is partnering with us and bringing in plants and giving us the proceeds. They are so generous and so good to us here. Dr. Armitage will be hanging around on Saturday too for about an hour and a half to answer questions and sign books if you want to buy a book. So lots going on. Come by the Art Center. We've got flyers, we've got information on our website, monroewaltonarts.org, and we hope to see you soon.
She's also our healthcare psych athlete, teacher, one of the best we have. She's going to talk to me a little bit about Key Club. When I talked to Kathy, first of all, she made me come. She said, if you don't, then we'll mess up your taxes. No, I'm just kidding. Anytime.
She didn't ask me if you could do a test tonight.
That's right. Well, Kathy's known me for a while, so anyways, no, anytime I can come and brag on our staff and our students, I want to come. So he asked me to have a presentation. I keep one on hand because anytime I can talk about Walnut Grove, the Walton County schools, I go because there's a lot of great things going on. And here's a statistic for you that most people don't know. What percentage of families in America actually have kids directly in school?
40%.
Way too high.
Oh, 30?
Lower. 20. A little higher.
25.
About 22 to 23%. Wow. So you think about that. So some of you here are grandparents. So some of you here maybe don't have kids or your kids have already gone. So that means only 1 in 4 have kids actually in schools. And if you go into, again, it's kind of interesting because I say that. That's why it's so important for us to come and have these conversations because guess where you get your information?
From kids.
You get it from the kids, or you get it at the ball field, you get it from the mad mama who's sitting next to you at the ball field, or from whatever else. Or me having to call Patrick Graham like, Patrick, can you please put something good on the front page for us? Which he does a great job, by the way. He's a great partner. So what you're going to hear today and what you have in front of you are just some things that you need to know about Walton Grove High School. And there's a lot of great things going on. I've been there for 4 years. I've been 26 years in education. I've been in school administration for 16 years. I taught for 10. Before I was here as principal at Beaufort High School. Before that, I was in Macon as executive officer of secondary schools. And I've also been a middle school principal, a hearing officer, which is the person you do not want to meet. So I've done quite a few things. But today, I want to go through just some statistics because I think you don't have the opportunity to see everything. And I would say we have 3 great high schools. Monroe and Loganville also are great high schools. Don't tell them I said that, but they really are. We do compete with each other. So I just want to go through just a few things. So let's see. Here are just some facts. So our enrollment currently is 1478. It says on there approximately 1,500. We actually started the year a little over 1,500. This is not unusual for us. Every high school kind of loses some along the way. Some going to Foothills, some going to, they can leave us early and go to technical school if they want to do the DAP program. There's just a myriad of ways. Some get sent home for the rest of the year, if you know what I mean. I mean, just kind of what happens. We are in Region 8, 4A, so we're a 4A school. Monroe's a 3A school. Loganville's a 5A school. On the cusp of a 6A school, but they're growing as well. But we are larger than we've ever been, and we're going to be bigger next year. We are located in Walnut Grove. Ironically, we have a Loganville address though. A lot of people don't realize that. They want to address things to Walnut Grove and like, there's no post office. You got to do it to Loganville. So we are in Walnut Grove, but we have a Loganville address. We have about 142 staff members. And I mean, they are fantastic. We have hired, and we already had some rock stars when they showed up, and we just added some more. Because Walnut Grove is a place that people want to be. What a lot of people don't realize is that we actually receive students from all over the county. From Walnut Grove, Loganville, Jersey, Monroe, Social Circle, Covington, and Good Hope. And there are some other in there. So we literally get them from everywhere. And the reason is because we have a permissive transfer rule in Walton. Yes, I was in Gwinnett 15 years. And what they can do is students can actually select what high school they want to go to as a permissive. So we have quite a few students. We are the largest selected school for permissive transfers in the district as a high school. So we have quite a few that drive distances just to come to us. Our graduating classes is somewhere between 310, 315 on average. This year looking to be our largest class ever. If those last 10 will come across the stage, we'll see how that goes. But that's usually our graduating class. Our graduation rate for the last 3 years, the first time in our history, we have had 3 consecutive years above 90%. We actually hit our highest graduate percentage last year before last, at 93.94 technically, but I won't get into the 0.4. But I can tell you anything above 90 is doing a good job. And in truth, all 3 high schools have all hit 90%. And that's a big deal. You don't find that in most places. That's just the work that's been going on under Dr. Franklin's leadership. We offer 93 courses. Yeah, a lot of people would go. Like when I was putting this together, I called Tommy, who does our master schedule. I said, Tommy, how many courses do you offer? 60? He said, let me get back with you. No, 93. I knew it was a lot, but I had no idea it was that much until I actually created a presentation.
Can you tell us what those are right quick?
Yeah. Math, science, social studies. So now here's another piece to that is that of those 93 course offerings, 32 of those are for CTAE. CTAE stands for Career, Technical, Agricultural, and Engineering. So that's what they're around. So for example, Nita's courses, her courses fall into that. And Nita's got it interesting. So if you're in the healthcare pathway and you complete the second part of the healthcare pathway, you actually get 2 credits because you also get an anatomy credit. So we have those options too. So you can take one class and get multiple credits. We have multiple CTA classes where you get 2 credits towards graduation without one class. And you can see some of the, so we have 10 career technical CTA pathways. We have healthcare science, and Anita's right here. We have JROTC, engineering, ag science, criminal justice, marketing, computer science, audiovisual film, work-based learning, and early childhood education. If you were to guess, which one of those would you say is probably our most popular?
Criminal justice.
Work-based.
ROTC. Computer science.
Work-based learning.
Wow.
It is so big. I've been, this is my 5th district I've worked in. I've been a principal of multiple schools. I have never been in a school where so many kids are ready to go to work. I mean, ready to get to work. And when I talk about my vision, it'll make more sense. We're so out of compliance right now because we have to be working with kids. We're actually reducing one of our course offerings and adding another work-based learning teacher so we can continue to have those kids go to work. So they're actually learning those skills they want in a job now.
Getting out of work or is it getting out of school?
Well, these kids get work. They have to because they get checked. I mean, our work-based learning teachers have to ride around and actually they meet with the bosses. The bosses actually give ratings on them and how they're doing and whatnot. I mean, that's how they get graded. So I mean, it's not just a I'm out. I mean, that's why we had to reduce what Lisa was doing. She couldn't get to them all. And so, I mean, these are kids that actual work. So,
and it's not just work; they also do internships. So, like my students can intern for first and second block, which is like 7:30 to about 10:30 or so, at Walton Piedmont, and they go through all the departments at the hospital, and also Athens Orthopedic. So it's not just actually go to work; they can also do internships like that too. And our ECE students, which is they go to the elementary schools and teach.
So we have lots of community partnerships. What a lot of people realize is we have people at our school all the time, like recruiting our kids. Like we had Euro Snell last week, recruiting our kids, hired a kid on the spot. Right on the spot. He's a junior. He's got a job when he leaves. He's going to start a summer internship with them. I mean, those kind of things. One of the more exciting things, well, one of the many exciting things that we're starting is we will be starting our construction lab, an actual lab where our students are going to be able to actually work in construction in the base of our building. We actually built you can't really see it over on the right, we built an auxiliary gym, so we were able to move the weight room up there, and now we're able to redesign that. So we're actually starting construction and electrical. We'll start down there starting next year. Again, that's why you see the E.R. Snells, we have the Yanceys, we have the Caterpillars. They're all coming to come talk to our kids because they do want to work and they do want, they want to go right into those fields. So trying to give those experiences. 40.4% of our 12th grade students earn accelerated learning credits. That means through dual enrollment or AP courses. So we don't have just kids who are going straight to pool. We have a lot of kids also who are looking to go to be enrolled in a university or post-secondary education. We offer 17 advanced placement courses and doubled the number of students taking these over the last 4 years. When I got there, we offered about 6. Now we offer 17. And we have doubled the number of students actually taking those courses, which is a big deal. So that's been a bit of focus for us. And you wonder how many of these kids actually go to college. About 58% of our students actually enroll in college in the end. So you got about 47%, maybe 42% that kind of go somewhere else. But again, most of our students actually go to college. So that's some fun facts about our school. Other things that people realize, we actually field 36 different teams. So think about that. That's 36 at least head coaches. And then add all the assistant coaches, and then throw in football and basketball. I mean, so we have to have a lot of coaches and all over the place. But a lot of people don't realize that. But when you throw in JV, varsity, and 9th grade, 36 teams. So as you can imagine, as a principal, every night there's something going on. We can be running all the time. Fine arts. When I first got there, we didn't have chorus. I'd never been to school to have chorus. So within a year, we have chorus, and now we have one. I think everybody would agree, we have the best chorus in the district. But we also we have Mr. Reedling, who's actually a minister in Loganville. He's our chorus teacher. He has done an unbelievable job with just developing that program. We also have a great band program. They can be concert or marching band. We have literary, which is actually a GHSA sport. I didn't even add that to the 36. But again, that's also a fine arts opportunity. And then in the art, we offer 2D, 3D, and AP art if any student wants to go in that route as well. So Ms. Stacy Jackson does a great job with that. Clubs, we have 18 organizations, including archery. Archery is not considered a sport or a part of fine, so it's in the clubs area. But we have archery. Our archery program is off the chain too. And I mean, if you just come to an archery meeting, you'll see a lot of people.
So literary is considered a sport.
Yeah, it's under GHSA. But so is esports. Esports is under GHSA too. So, and no offense, but bass fishing is too. So I mean, we can go down that. Yeah. So CTAE, we also have opportunities there to serve and for students to develop through Skills USA, TSA, DECA, FCCLA, and FBLA. So again, that's just some of the things, because what's great about schools is you want them not to only have a 7 to 3 good experience, you want to have a 3 to 7 good experience too. So that kind of idea. So just want to kind of give you an idea. A lot of people realize how massive an organization high schools are and just how much is going on. Talking about spinning 1,000 plates, we spin 10,000 plates. That's how it feels. But we do it for a good reason. This is the team that does it. Now there are a few missing, but we take this every year. You can see here our leadership team in the front. This is Coach T. He is our curriculum instruction assistant principal. This is Miss De La Rosa. She oversees I always forget. She F through N? They all have alphabets. So you have De La Rosa, you have Mr. McDonald. I know he does A through like F because my son's an A, so I know he has to see him. So and then you have Coach Cochran. So this is our team, a very experienced team. But again, this is our school and our staff who does all the work. I always think it's important when I talk about my school. I always think it's important if the leader doesn't have a vision. I always have a problem with that. So I always, anytime I go, I want to tell them, why are we doing what we do? What is your distillery when you make decisions? And this is it. So it starts off with we want students to have a meaningful school experience. That means we want it to be differentiated for every student, because when you think about your own kids or your grandkids, they all have different gifts and talents, don't they? I mean, they're not on this conveyor belt all get the same bumper and tire. We used to do that. We should, because we need to develop the child or the student to what they're good at. That makes sense. That's why you see all those different offerings. That's why you see all those different clubs. That's why you see all those different CTA opportunities. Is because we want them to kind of figure out what it is and what vein they want to work in. And so it's our job to provide them those experiences. The next one is we want them to graduate on time. I've been doing this for 27 years. I haven't shaken a 20-year-old's hand yet. And I've shaken very few 19-year-olds. Very few. So what we know is if they don't get it done in 4 years, by the time they're 18, more than likely they're not going to get it done. So we focus on that. We talk about that. And then the last part is the part that I think every student at Walton Grove can tell you. Their job, when they walk across that stage, is to tell me, are they leaving enrolled, enlisted, or employed? Because the opposite of those things is not good. So we talk about it, even in 8th grade, when they come up and start talking to us, we say, parents, do you want your kid to leave enrolled, enlisted, or employed? We don't care which one it is, just pick one. And if you don't know, then start with enrolled. You can always, go to enlisted. By the way, if you enlist, you're actually doing the other two too. But because the opposite of enrolled means you dropped out, you're incarcerated, you're unemployable, or unfortunately, you're deceased. Those are the only 7 ways you're going to leave high school. I'm just here today. Been doing it all the time. So we want you to leave one of those 3 ways. So we talk about it all the time. Enrolled, enlisted, or employed. What are you doing to ensure that happens? Because I get tired of kids shaking my hand going down the stage and not knowing what they're going to do. So what happens, they end up in a low-wage, high-demand job, and they just flounder. I tell Dessa all the time, she's like, I can't get workers. I said, all the 20-year-olds at McDonald's, go talk to them. Because that's what's happening. Many of those guys, they didn't leave having any, and I'm not knocking them working, I'm just saying, they could probably do more than that if they really had a vision for their lives. And so we're trying to help them figure those things out. So anyways, that's the vision. I'm not going to go through everything, guys. This is all a presentation. I also think it's important that you know kind of what we focus on. We don't focus on a lot, guys, believe it or not. Like you have these people who have all these huge improvement plans. They can't do all that. They got all these goals. They can't do all that. We focus on 3 things. We focus on literacy because in the end, everything you do is around reading. Everything you do. You can be a mechanic and you shouldn't have to read manuals and do those things. And some of that technical reading is way more difficult than anything else. So we focus on literacy, we focus on kids graduating, and we focus on coming to school. Walnut Grove, since its opening in 2009, has continued to have an issue with kids coming to school. I ain't never seen it. Again, I've been a lot of places, but for some reason, we struggle with getting kids to come to school. Now, you and I both know where that starts.
We got trouble getting them to come to work, too.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell the parents that all the time, because I ask business leaders, what do you want us to do? Not once have y'all said, hey, can you make them smarter? You haven't. That's what they say. They say, come to, I had Rivian. They came by. I said, what do you need? I got to talk to the guy. It's the 2 of us. He goes, Lindsay, here's what I need. I need him to come to work. I need him to come to work on time, have a good attitude, be willing to work with other people, and be willing to learn, and they can get a job.
Well, they don't need that now.
So they
don't need that anymore.
They don't. But I use that example, but this is a pretty big organization. But guess what? I asked Takeda, I asked Facebook, they all say the same thing. Not once have they told me, can you make them smarter? Not once. It's all about the shovel. It's not always about the book. It's about industriousness, hard work. So we do preach those things. Unfortunately, they aren't measured and graded, but they are in some ways. Nita, you still have a good. Okay. Nita's got to get back from class, so I can't go too long. So anyways, again, I told you, we don't do a whole lot. These are the things we do. This is what our school improvement plan looks like. We try to be very succinct, and it really comes around this idea called the mile. And I won't get into it. It's a great book about, you know, the guys who went to try to get to North Pole first. Have you ever heard that story? And it was around the person who did it was they consistently said they were going to go 20 miles every day versus going to go as far as they can, as fast as they can while the weather is good. And so we are staying consistent. This is going to be our expectation year after year after year. And that's how we think we're going to win with that level of consistency. And these are the things that we're focused on. And I won't get into all of these, but I mean, if you look at them, this makes sense. This is around behavior, safety, security, tardies, attendance, student engagement, advisement. Yes, AI integration. We started that a year ago. We saw it coming and we got involved because, again, we can let it happen to us or we can be involved in it. So again, these are the things we do. This is around literacy. This is around teachers working together. And this is around connecting with our community partners so that our students have those connection opportunities. So we have a lot of great things going. You may know Ned. He spent the day with me. He wore out his shoes. But you know, Ned's also a parent as well of two of our students. And so Riley and Tommy. Riley's a senior this year and Tommy is a sophomore, and so again, so it's good to have him spend time with us. There he is. Don't you like this picture right here? I don't know when that happened. I wasn't with him for some reason. I was in the bathroom or something.
That's the real man.
I'll let y'all tell him that. Okay, I'll let y'all tell him that. This is again an example of literacy. Our students do a fantastic job. And this is not just like the regular newspaper. This is an online publication that they produce, and I mean it is high quality. I mean to the point where actually Patrick has reached out to me and said, "Hey, got anybody that might be interested in coming to work for me?" So again, giving those kids opportunities. This is our Rising 9th grade tours. As you can see me there, I preach to every student who comes in about this, exactly what you heard. And what you're in by our vision and what we want for them. So trying to get them indoctrinated in some of those things. Again, AI, we work really hard. And how our work in AI has been not around students, this has been around, what I realized was all teachers could think of is how do I keep it out of the kids' hands because they're going to cheat and do all this other stuff. What we did was we started showing them what they could gain. So if you ask teachers what they never have enough of, what do you think it is? Time. We started showing them how AI would help them save time. I mean, literally, we have one teacher he's in his 29th year. He said what used to take him 10 hours takes him 10 minutes. Think about that. So that's like